Warriors, I need to share this story with you, this information. I just got back from an outing. I'll leave it at that. And it is the second time in recent months where I have been in a group, in a room, and where I have spoken with candidates that want to run for various offices around New York State. I'll just leave it at that. I'll be a little anonymous. I am dumbfounded that both these times, both candidates knew nothing about anything I was talking about. These are the people representing us, our elected officials, running for office in times like these, where we know everything is bad, where we know everyone is overwhelmed, worried, where we know there is a war on for our children. This should be top priority, on the tip of everybody's lips. And I was just astounded today when I asked about this. And this is also the second time. Specifically, what I asked is in New York State, where I live, where I'm based, but remember, whatever happens here is coming to your home state, about the full decriminalization of the sex trade. We should really call it partial decriminalization of the sex trade, because we can all agree, no matter what you believe, that we all want to decriminalize those who are prostituted, that they are victims, that they are vulnerable, and they deserve a chance to exit. And the full decrim wants to also legalize pimping, trafficking, brothels, illicit spa owners, and sex buyers. This candidate, who has a career in politics, it's nothing new, and this is the second time, Warriors, immediately it turned to, they kind of get this look on their faces when I say, I want to get this on everybody's agenda. Everybody needs to know about this. Those running, those elected, and constituents, and all citizens. And both times, they just kind of stared at me and started like rote, going into human trafficking is terrible. And both times, they started talking about the sex trafficking that's coming over the border. Now, whoa, back up a minute. As I intervened and said, no, I'm talking about sex trafficking right around the corner from where we are in the United States. We're not even talking about the border right now. Yes, indeed, there is human trafficking, smuggling, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, laborers being forced over the border by cartels, organized crime. We're not talking about that right now. I'm strictly talking about New York State, what's happening here, and how come on a daily basis, I have to say, really almost on a daily basis, when I bring this subject up, that we are facing a very well-funded push to have this pro-sex trade in New York State, and that all the other states are waiting and looking at New York as a model, that if it is legalized here and becomes law, then they will follow suit. They're already talking about, bringing Ukrainian women and children here in the next few weeks, the predators. We're expecting, actually, I just heard our Mayor Adams, this is a little bit separate, saying yesterday, we expect to take in 100,000 Ukrainian refugees in New York City. I'm talking about, he's saying that just 100,000. I'm saying about the additional, the predation, the predators bringing in, the traffickers bringing in. We already know that children are being warehoused and brought up to the Bronx and also upstate New York. We also know that it is an issue, let's break it down, supply and demand. If there are no laws, nobody's getting in trouble, and there's a buck to be made. You know it, Warriors, you always follow the money. In order to fill the demand, you need more people. You will traffic people. Force, fraud, coercion. That's it. That's the meaning of human trafficking. Force, fraud, coercion. And to fill that demand are men, women, children, and babies, I dare say. because the demand, I will remind you, is from 0 to 2 years old. You heard me right, 0. That is newborn to 2 years old. And law enforcement cannot keep up with it. Law enforcement can only work on the worst cases, and that is 0 to 2 years old. So what is happening to that 12-year-old boy, in the Bronx, that 11-year-old girl? Warriors, we all need to know about the equality model. I'm talking about New York State right now. It is percolating and simmering all across our country. We do not want this. This is the wild west of human trafficking, of sex trafficking. The demand is for children. Don't let your child or grandchild be the next victim. But it just, I can't even express that with all going on. And we all know the good news is at least more people are talking up and about everything going on, at least those that I encounter on a daily basis. And they know everything's terrible and horrible and people are not happy. We know everything's expensive. What would be the one issue that would change the dynamics of the conversation a little bit and get people energized, get people to participate, get people to educate others? I say that would be our families first, our children. Let's all talk about digital safety, internet safety. Let's all talk about this full decrim and how it can affect us personally, and also what it costs us, because it all trickles down to our pocketbooks, our wallets, our taxes going for the illegal immigrants. They are getting health benefits. Who's paying for that? We are. Trafficked across the borders, increased crime, including the drugs. We're going to lump this all together. Coming over. We need additional law enforcement, additional manpower. What is the cost of that? What is the cost of catching these predators? What is the cost of treating children that are here illegally? And then treating also those that are here illegally. Tremendous, tremendous costs. It's an issue of national security, all of this trafficking. Again, in order to fill a demand, you're going to traffic more people. You need more people. And you traffic from out of the country, the border, national security threat. Think about it. Cartels are running the trafficking, organized crime. Time warriors to step up. Know the issues. I urge all of you, because every bit counts, that you go to house.gov, senate.gov, and you find out who represents you, and you drop them a line. And you say, what are you doing to protect our children? What are you doing to stop children coming over the border? What are you doing about safe houses? What are you doing? Well, I could go on with a million different things. One line, what are you doing about sex trafficking of our children? That is it. They keep numbers, they keep records. You might get a form letter back, but it's been entered into the system. Well, I just got one from Chuck Schumer in the middle of the night. I've been after Chuck Schumer maybe 2 years now. But you know what? In my recent communication, he acknowledged something we've been working on called the Earn It Act to hold big tech accountable. He has never before put that in any kind of communication, that he's well aware of it. He's following it closely as it goes to vote on the Senate floor. So instead of just denying me and saying I don't believe in it, which is the usual talk I get, I got this response, which I'll take it as a plus. I'll take anything that's going in the positive direction. He also acknowledges, I actually posted the response on my Twitter, Lynn's Warriors. Remember, Warriors, a Warriors Action, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Share stories, read, educate yourselves. Remember, we want to engage, educate, and empower. But I also want all of you, we are at a crisis. I've been saying this, I guess, close to 2 years now. This is an American crisis. There was a war on for our children. It is time to step up. A woman asked me today, she said, what do you have? I have teenagers and They yell out at me, Mom, you're crazy. When I try to talk to them about the internet, Mom, nobody does that. Mom. Well, let me tell you, warriors, go to linswarriors.org. Prepare yourself. Why don't you make if you have teenagers that talk to you like that, why don't you make yourself a little, almost a warrior safety pack? Find some of those studies I post about what's going on online. For instance, we know that over 40% of kids 9 to 17 are sharing nude images with complete strangers. How about our youth mental health? Why don't you give your teen that 53-page report that was put out, this rare, they called it a rare advisory. I am calling it a sound the alarm report. December 7th, 2021, got no coverage, next to none. The Warriors, of course, covered it, by Dr. Vivek H. Murthy, U.S. Surgeon General. A rare advisory about the mental health of our youth prior to COVID and what happened during COVID. 53 pages. It's not a rare advisory. Have that. Have studies I post where prostitution is legal. Does not help with any of this. It only increases sex trafficking because remember, there's more money to be made. So you need more people. These women, and there are men, it's not just, girls and women, it is boys and men also. We don't talk about them a lot, but we know 1 in 6 victims are boys. They are no better off where it is legalized. They still have a pimp. They still have a trafficker. We do not have independent contractors like Pretty Woman. We do not have them getting any better medical, health care. We have nothing. And we have reports about all of this. And if all else fails, if you could just sit down like I did yesterday and talk with real survivors. These are victims. These are survivors of the most horrendous things that I couldn't even write if I tried, because I don't know it. I don't know them. That's how bad it is. I know a lot about this subject. And to first have brave people share their very intimate stories, their shocking stories, and wanting to help me by now talking about this as part of their healing, as part of their trauma, but they want to educate others and hear it from them that this does indeed happen in every town, city, and state, rural area, wherever you go. It's happening. And we're talking the United States. I'm not talking another country. These stories, I didn't sleep all night. I know all these things, but to hear them again and to hear them from beautiful people that have been put through this as little children for years and years and years of abuse, have a legal justice system that tends not to believe the victim, or to tell a victim that statute of limitations has run out, to have family members turn on them, which I hear over and over again, telling them, we don't believe you, it's your fault, we don't believe you, kick them out when they're teens, blaming them for perhaps a step-parent who abused them. So we have a lot to work on, warriors, and it starts with each and every one of us. I wouldn't be doing this work. I don't even want to call it work. I want to call it a calling, because I want to help you. I want to protect our children, help you protect them, because this is a tough road. So if I can ease that burden in any way possible, that's what I'm going to do. But I need all of you to participate. I need all of you to listen up. I need all of you, if you're in the presence of any kind of group, to bring it up. Digital safety. I need all of you, if you are anywhere near, I don't care if it's a town council member, school board member, that's a whole nother program, to speak up. I beg you. Digital safety, internet safety. What are we teaching the children? We need mandatory internet safety taught in classrooms. But first, we as parents and grandparents have to know what's going on. So I want all of you, linswarriors.org, know from me, who's in the thick of it, that if our elected officials and those who seek offices don't know anything about this, how could you know anything about this? The media is not covering it. So come along, listen to me. Together, we'll figure this out. Together, We will work on it. I will always provide resources. I'm always behind warriors because I'm one warrior. I don't have a team. I don't have a staff. I'm trying to do everything. There's only so many hours in the day. Not complaining. I'm just saying I'm always behind because there's that much information. There's that much coming in on a daily basis that I need to share with you. And there's just not enough time in the day. So if I reach one of you each day and make a difference, that is being a warrior. So please consider donating, consider retweeting, sharing from Facebook. Please consider being an advocate and talking out about this. Please contact me if you need to ask any questions. Lynn@lynswarriors.org. I am always available for questions and the such. And remember, each and every day we love our children. Community creates change. Go out and be a warrior.